actually caused traffic gridlock in the city hub, with no curative steps taken. Expectedly on January 1, 2017, a new committee was absorbed by the state government to sanitize the activities of street trading, waterway littering, and general traffic hazards to keep the environment healthier for the inhabitants. Some motorists who shared their views on the journey so far had this to say.
We like us put us for license. I better pass the way give big show. You know the experience we would set at times. I would have been up every time.
They don't give us garage. We want to stay. Not be along the road, not be garage. That's what we are asking for.
Once they complain, say where will they drop them? It's too far. So once we drop them, they insult our family. So make government talk about it.
However, responding to the agitations of some of the motorists in compliance with the prohibited traffic law, the coordinator of the Public Works Guard, Puwok Mokhtar Yusuf Osage, says it was resolute and committed to ensure that road users are not subjected to traffic hardship.
When you are domiciled in a particular area or a particular state, automatically you are a member and you are a part and parcel of that state. Keep that state clean. It shouldn't be a case of whereby, I don't care and you violate the law, guiding some either street trading or don't park in some certain areas. The offender is taken to the magistrate court whereby he faces the magistrate and is being charged for those offences.
Traffic jam in the metropolis has since been monitored, while commuting in the city becoming easier than before, with move of replicating this success across the state.
We'll take a moment now and bring you news from outside Nigeria and the world of sports. Do stay with us.
CORETV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CORETV.
Download CORETV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CORETV News, a 24-hour news station.
Many thanks for staying with us. In news from beyond the shore, 3 Israelis have been shot and killed, while 4 people were injured by a Palestinian gunman at the entrance to a Jewish settlement in the occupied West Bank. Israeli police say the gunman was also shot and died later, but has not yet been identified. The attacker is said to have arrived the rear gate of Har Adar along with Palestinian laborers entering the settlement before opening fire on Israeli police guards. There are reports the identities of the Israelis shot dead have been withheld by the authorities. However, the Israeli ambulance service says victims who were seriously injured suffered gunshot and stab wounds. At least 50 Israelis and 5 foreign nationals have been killed since a wave of stabbing, shooting and car ramming attacks on Israelis, predominantly Palestinians or Israeli Arabs, began since late 2015. The United States has expanded its controversial travel ban to include people from North Korea, Venezuela and Chad. The White House says the restrictions follow a review of information sharing by foreign government. Donald Trump issued a presidential proclamation late Sunday saying making America safe is his #1 priority. He will not admit those into his country they cannot safely vet. The restrictions on Venezuelans apply only to government officials and their family members. In sports news now, Super Eagles captain Mikel Obi and striker Odion Ighalo are expected to arrive in Nigeria this weekend ahead of the key 2018 World Cup qualifier against Zambia at the Godswill Akpabio Stadium on 7th of October. Those players have been named in the Super Eagles squad to face the Chipolo Polo of Zambia. Mikel will lead his Chinese Super League team, Tianjin Teda, out in a league game against Guizhou Zhicheng on Wednesday, while Ighalo's Chanchangu Yatai, having played out a goalless draw against Hebei CFFC last Sunday, will not feature in the CSL until the 13th of October. 30-year-old Mikel is poised to make his 75th international appearance for the Super Eagles, having scored 6 times, while Ighalo will look to score his 5th goal for the 3-time African champions when he steps out for the 13th time in a green and white jersey for Nigeria. Right, that's it on sports and on CORETV News on the hour. Many thanks for watching. I am Abosedi Omowi. Good morning.
Watch CORETV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CORETV Primetime News broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CORETV, leave a space, then News. CORETV News, a 24-hour news station.
Governing a country full of complexities like Nigeria requires the support of everybody. The role players of governance take the decisions that affect your daily life.
Rest assured that this administration will continue to do all it can to rescue the remaining Chibokers who are still in Boko Haram's captivity.
Let's remove emotion from facts. 1. Do judges have immunity? The answer is no. Can judges be arrested? The answer is yes.
We resolve to work together, the federal government and the states, to meet the challenges of our economy.
It didn't happen by accident. It happened by the hard work that this government has done since it came into office.
Femi Abiololuwole on CORETV News every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. as I take you around to the activities at the presidential villa.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digit 360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze. You can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
From magistrate to high court, from court of appeal to the Supreme Court, we bring you the rulings, judgments on cases involving personalities, institutions, both low and high in the society.
The learned trial judge said he has not even read the processes.
From the way they are going, they will spend 20 days on a witness. I've never seen that kind of proceedings in my life.
Join Basil Okafor on Legal Scope every Saturday at 2:30 p.m. and the repeat broadcast every Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. Legal Scope brings you activities in the judiciary, updating you on in and out of court proceedings. Join me for updates on Legal Scope on CORETV News.
Mr. President,
Mr. Speaker,
109 senators, 360 members of the House of Representatives, talking the talk, walking the walk as they debate on issues that concern Nigerians.
Mr. President, a time will come when the poor will have nothing to eat but the rich.
To avoid double taxation so that there is flow of business into Nigeria, Nigerians will benefit a lot.
We bring you the argument.
You don't need any accountant to tell you that some people are making fortunes on account of other people's misfortune.
Whether there was some abuse of dipping hands into any public funds of the Federation.
Accusations.
This is a good example of where corruption is not only eating into it, it's also creating a bad name for ourselves.
I've never heard the word pardon being an offense under any law.
It is not pardon. It is not incision. It's budget fraud.
Controversies.
There is the sitting IG who promoted his girlfriend from sergeant to inspector to ASP.
We must have jobs and projects going in every local government, every federal constituency, every senatorial district of this country.
The recession has turned Nigerians into economists nowadays.
Join me, Jamila Fegwa, on Gavel to Gavel every Saturday at 8 p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Mondays at 12:30 p.m.
CORETV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CORETV.
Download CORETV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CORETV News, a 24-hour news station. Our heroic past conquers the future. Every land and its people have legends or heroes whom they tie their historical heritage to. As for the Egba people of Abeokuta in Ogun State, southwest Nigeria, this hero is Lishabi Agbongbakala, the liberator and father of the Egba people.
Came in waves from the different homelands, or what we call the Egba forest. And from the Egba forest that they all came to settle at Abeokuta, starting from the Olumo, and that was around 1830.
According to history, the Egba people started to settle in Abeokuta in 1830. The story of Abeokuta, the abode of the Egbas, started with their liberation. Prior to their liberation, the Egba people were under the oppressive rule of the Alaafin of Oyo.
Lishabi is the one that liberated the Egbas from the Oloyo in the days of old. Because, the Oloyos usually send his Ilaris down to Egba, to come and take what is called Ishakole, that which they're supposed not to pay.
It was this oppressive rule that inspired Lishabi to set his people free at all cost. As a patriot, he used his local army, the Egbearo, to organize the simultaneous killing of all the Ilaris, the representatives of the Alaafin of Oyo, in all Egba towns. Today, centuries after he's gone, the Egba people celebrate Lishabi.
Our theme is to celebrate heroism. That is to bring out the good points and the good deeds and all the things, all the services which Lishabi rendered to the Egba people. Then we say heroism and youth development for the modern youth to learn from the history of their ancestors. The history of unity, the lesson of unity, the lesson of personal discipline, the lesson of patriotism, the lesson of cooperation, and all that. That is all we are trying to celebrate and give to the benefit of the young ones. So the celebration is only an opportunity to bring all these things together for the benefit of the modern generation.
The celebration of the Lishabi's annual event is to remind us of the heroic feat of Lishabi and his men, and to remind us of the debt of gratitude which we owe to Lishabi and his men.
Olumo Rock holds a special place in the history of the Egba people. Endowed with natural caves, the Olumo Rock served as a refuge,
It was in these caves that the Egba people hid during the Yoruba Wars.
When we arrived here, Olumo Rock provided the first shelter. Underneath the rock, you have rooms and parlors, and you have so many cool places there that people could sleep in. Neither rain nor sun could touch them there.
Today, the Olumo Rock is kept sacred and worshipped. It was also from this rock that Abeokuta got its name. Abeokuta means under the rock in Yoruba. For 7 days, the rock city of Abeokuta stood still as sons, daughters, and friends of Egba land trooped into the town from all walks of life to honor Lishabi, whose heroic feats secured the future of the Egba people.
ní gbogbo eku Ẹ̀gbá Abẹ́òkúta south Abẹ́òkúta north gbogbo aláǹtí bàbá pé àkú ọdún bàbá ẹkú yèdùn ẹni tó ń lọ sí ìgbà máa pọ̀ sí lórí àṣìṣe orílẹ̀ bàbá owó Ẹ̀gbá àwọn Ẹ̀gbá tó gbogbo bàbá tó lọ dárúkọ láti gbé ẹgbẹ́ orílẹ̀ èdè o.
The booming of guns at the ancient Olumo Rock heralded the celebrations of this year's Lishabi Day celebration. This booming of the gun is regarded as a worthy salute for the great hero Lishabi.
We had always, used any occasion of celebration to boom guns to let people know that we are celebrating.
That's just traditional, cultural, that usually when a big thing is happening like that, there'll be guns booming and all that, just to show that something is beginning to happen. A festival is happening, an important event is happening. That is traditional in all Yoruba towns.
As the gun salute dies down, the Woro dancers from Bagura, Ake, and Ibare sections of Egba land took to the streets amidst drumming and dancing. This is a repeat of the unity dance which followed the defeat of the Alaafin's army by Lishabi. As part of the celebrations, the Alake of Egba land, accompanied by high chiefs and prominent sons of Egba land, climbed to the peak of the rock to offer prayers for the continued unity of the Egba kingdom.
Gbogbo àwọn kọmitì tí wọ́n wá ṣe ètò yìí, Ọlọ́run á máa bùkún wọn.
Ìjọba àgbọ̀ ẹ̀yẹ ọ̀nìṣẹ́ ẹ̀gbọ́ nǹkan tí yóò dúró fún ààyè ìjọba láìpẹ́ ọjọ́ wọ́n á dẹ̀ fi ẹ́ sí kò tó yẹ kán fi ẹ́ sí láti máa bá wọn dámọ̀ràn fún lọ síwájú gbogbo ilẹ̀ Yorùbá bẹ́ẹ̀ ló máa rí o.
Ẹ̀tìwí ló máa rí.
Ẹ̀tìwí ló máa rí.
Ẹ̀tìwí ló máa rí.
Ẹ̀tìwí ló máa rí. Èyí ẹ̀mí lẹ̀. Wọ́n fi díẹ̀ sí.
Ọkọ̀ náírà. Lísàbí agbóngbò àkàlà. Ojúbà lóṣì ọ̀kẹ́. Ojúbà lámọ̀dí. Ojúbà sódẹ̀kẹ́. Ojúbà sókẹ́nù. Ojúbà láti ṣe. Ojúbà olúwọlé àgbò. Àkíkú ẹ̀ la fi ń wọ́lẹ̀ yìí. Gbogbo Ẹ̀gbá àti bàbá wa àti wọn bàbá wa. Àkíkú ọkọ yìí òun la fi
After prayers at the Olumorok, the celebrations shifted to the palace of the Alake for the traditional Ayo game. The Lísàbí Day quiz and debate competition, and football. As usual with Lísàbí Day celebrations, other heroes were celebrated alongside Lísàbí. This time, the hero of the year, late Surakatu Shobande, the OC of Egbaland, died in 2001.
The Chief Shobande, who was OC Egba, he was OC for over 50 years. He died at the age of 103.
Èèyàn pàtàkì ni, ó nífẹ̀ẹ́ sí ìlú, kò lè fọ̀rọ̀ ìlú ṣeré. Èèyàn dẹ̀ ní àgọ́ ọ̀wẹ̀ tí wọ́n fi jẹ balógun yìí èèyàn ni. Ní ọ̀dọ̀ mi yìí àtàwọn àyàwó ẹ̀ èèyàn ni. Ń tọ́jú èèyàn o, ń tọ́jú èèyàn.
Also, as part of this year's Lísàbí Day celebrations, some Egba sons and daughters who had contributed to the development of the land were honored. This is Igbo Lísàbí. Lísàbí's forest is the mystical forest where Lísàbí was said to have disappeared many centuries ago. Every year the people journey to Igbo Lísàbí to honor their founding father, The forest is sacred. Farming or hunting is not allowed, and women are forbidden to enter it.
Ẹ̀gbá tó ti lọ ní agbára Ọlọ́run ó máa padà lọ́dún bàbá máa débi lọ́dún tó ń bọ̀ ayé wa tún ju tọ́ bí ìlú ọkọ ní ṣe àwọn ọmọ wa o wọ́n tún àwọn àjùwà lọ àwa náà àwọn oníwà kọ̀ọ̀kan ti ní wa lọ́dún tó ń bọ̀ èrò tó wà ń bí lọ́dún yìí á dàbí ẹni pé ìdá mẹ́wàá àwọn tó máa wà bí lọ́dún tó ń bọ̀ owó wa a máa lé sí i ọlá wa máa lé sí i àwọn a máa pọ̀ sí i ẹlòmọ̀rẹ́ àgbà kan.
Prayers are said to appease the spirit of Lishabi, and of course later there is merriment. Then the activities are rounded up at the palace of the Alake, where people pay homage. The appearance of Igunoko masquerade added spice to the grand finale. At the end of this year's Lishabi Day celebrations, everyone was unanimous in showering praises and offering prayers for the continued existence of the Lishabi Day celebrations.
Welcome to 100 Years in 100 Words. Cultures in Nigeria. Nigeria is a blessed nation. Our culture is shaped by our multi-ethnic groups. The country has over 50 languages and over 250 dialects and ethnic groups. Nigeria is believed to possess one of the finest cultures in the world, ranging from cuisines, clothing, languages, architecture, hospitality, traditional music, dance, art, and much more. The three largest ethnic groups are the Hausa Fulani, who are predominant in the north, the Igbos, who are predominant in the southeast, and the Yorubas, who are predominant in the southwest. The Edo people are predominant in the regions between the Yoruba land and the Igbo land. This group is followed by the Ibibios and an Efik people of the coastal southeastern Nigeria and the Ijaws of the Niger Delta. The rest of Nigeria's ethnic groups are found all over the country, especially in the Middle Belt and the north. The Hausa tends to be Muslims and the Igbos are predominantly Christians. The Efik, Ibibios, and Ain people are mainly Christians. The Yorubas have a balance of members that are ardently of both Islam and Christianity. Indigenous religious practice remains important in all Nigeria's ethnic groups. These beliefs are often blended with Christianity or even Islam. One cannot help but savor the rich delicacies from tuwo shinkafa with miyan kuka of the north, to the akpu with ofe oweri of the east, and inyo with egusi soup of the west. Who will resist the afang soup, specially made in the beautiful city of Calabar? Call it a fishing frenzy festival. It is one of the most famous cultural festivals in Nigeria, and it is celebrated to mark the beginning of the fishing season in Arugungu, a riverside town in Kebbi State, between February and March every year. It is called the Arugungu Fishing Festival. Eyo is not just unique, but central to the city of Lagos, Africa's biggest metropolis. It is widely believed that Eyo is a replica of a modern-day carnival in Brazil. You need to attend festivals such as the Benin Festival, the New Yam Festival, Osun Festival, and Shango Festival to understand the beauty embedded in Nigeria's culture. Nigeria is a blessed nation.
Governing a country full of complexities like Nigeria requires the support of everybody. The role players of governance take the decisions that affect your daily life.
Rest assured that this administration will continue to do all it can to rescue the remaining Chibokars who are still in Boko Haram's captivity.
Let's remove emotion from facts. 1. Do judges have immunity? The answer is no. Can judges be arrested? The answer is yes.
We resolve to work together, the federal government and the states, to meet the challenges of our economy.
It didn't happen by accident. It happened by the hard work that this government has done since he came into office.
Tony Abiololuwole on CORETV News every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. as I take you around to the activities at the presidential villa.
Every day, every hour, and every minute, news break in Nigeria. Things happen so fast, it's most times difficult to track and comprehend them. But that's what we do right here on Digi360. 2015, would you want to come back again?
It's like asking Jesus Christ if he knew he was going to die, will you want to come back as the savior of the world again?
We do not just help you track the stories, we break them down, explore all the angles, analyze the issues so that you can fully comprehend the stories and use them to make the right decisions.
You can now watch CORETV News live from anywhere in the world on our website www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CORETV Primetime News Broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CORETV. Leave a space, then news. CORETV News, a 24-hour news station. CORETV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CORETV.
Download CORETV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CORETV News, a 24-hour news station.
Is it crazy or autocracy? Or what type of crazy is that? Except crazy.
News making the headlines.
Black Maria is to carry criminals, trained looters that are in government today.
Sometimes it gets confrontational.
Slap you in the face. Excuse me, don't put words into my mouth. Whatever it is that will bring our military to disrepute. I said to hell.
On Core Digest.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
Every weekday, we bring all of these together and take them to the court of public opinion.
Everybody has the right in Nigeria.
Where you are the judge.
Beautiful Tuesday morning to you out there. Welcome to Core Digest. I'm your host, Emmanuel Ajayi. Well, on the program today, we have interesting stories that I'll be bringing to you. Well, during the course of the program, we'll be talking about tax administration in Nigeria. And, of course, we'll be joining live the Federal Inland Revenue Service in Abuja. They are having this program called Building Strong Domestic Tax Regime in Africa. We're talking about a lot about tax this morning. Well, let's start with news making headlines. Quite interesting stories that we're bringing to you this time. President Muhammadu Buhari has returned from London after a brief stop there on his way from the 72nd United Nations General Assembly held between the 12th and the 25th of September 2017. He was represented there he was there live and direct to represent Nigeria on issues bordering on national security and some other germane issues in the country. The president touched down at the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport around 7 p.m. on Monday, was received by his Chief of Staff, Abba Yari. Other dignitaries also joined the Chief of Staff to receive President Muhammadu Buhari and the Minister of Federal Capital Territory, Mohammed Bello, and Inspector General of Police, Ibrahim Idris. Recalled that the senior special advisor to the President on Media and Publicity, Femi Adesina, announced that the President will go through London to attend to his personal issues. Adesina also threw lights on the 72nd issues of the President there. Listen to this one.
When we announced the trip to the United States for the UN General Assembly, we had said he will transit in London on the way back to Nigeria. And he's in London now. He will be here till Monday. By Monday, the president will be back in Nigeria.
Special advisor to the president on media and publicity there, Femi Adesina, talking about the return of the president of Nigeria, Muhammadu Buhari. Away from these 60 members of the indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, have been remanded at the Afara Federal Prison in Aba following a ruling of the Chief Magistrate Court sitting in Umuahia, Abia State. The magistrate ordered IPOB members be remanded in prison after their counsel challenged the jurisdiction of the court to hear the matter. The magistrate who had directed that the case file be transferred to the Department of Public Prosecution, DPP, for advice. Later adjourned the case till October 25. Now, the IPOB members were among those arrested by security agents in Umuahia, Isiala, Ungwa, and other parts of the state capital during the clash between army and members of the separatist group. Away from this one, panel of inquiry set up by the federal government to investigate allegations of human rights and violation by the Nigerian army has commenced sitting in Port Harcourt, Rivers State capital. The panel aimed to investigate challenges inherent in the fight against insurgency, militancy, and other local conflicts in Nigeria that have led to years of allegations of non-compliance with human rights obligation and rules of engagement of the Nigerian army. Take a listen to this one.
To investigate alleged acts of violation of international humanitarian and human rights law under the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria 1999 as amended, the Geneva Convention Act, the African Charter on Human and People's Rights, Ratification and Enforcement Act.
A lot of allegations that will come here are just baseless. So I want to request the panel, Your Lordship, we have people on the ground who are involved. And if we bring them, you will be satisfied, just like you were satisfied in Maiduguri. You will be satisfied that what all these allegations are not actually true. So if this panel will help us to clear our name.
And away from that, Women Affairs and Social Development Minister, I'm talking about Aisha Alazan at this time, says a current global trend confirms the need for women to take active part in peace process for rights and priorities to be adequately addressed in the country. The minister, speaking through a representative, made this statement at the National Conference on Security of Women in Conflict Situation there in Abuja. Take a listen to this one.
Current global trend confirms the need for women to take part in peace processes in order to have their rights and priorities adequately addressed.
Humanitarian and security challenges that you're facing that are threatening the lives and livelihoods of women and men, boys and girls. The Chibok girls, their families and communities have given faces of the suffering and devastation.
It is critically important that the government at federal and state level and all humanitarian partners engage in the response to the Northeast crisis.
And after weeks and months of recess from the National Assembly, the 8th Senate has highlighted some of its legislative priorities as soon as they resume today. Let me let you know that the National Assembly will be resuming today, being Tuesday. A statement signed by the chairman of the Senate Committee on Media and Public Affairs, Sabi Abdullahi, reads that the Senate is looking into top priorities of some key issues, the passage of 3 petroleum industry bills that are of the committee's level, and as well as the social justice bill like the Jungle Justice Bill, employment-related bills, occupational safety bill, and the existing vacancies bill. The Senate has said that it will also work to ensure that members present the views of their constituents after the recess meeting and consultations. Upon resumption on Tuesday, that is today, Nigerians can be rest assured that the views and voices of Nigerians will be considered in all Senate activities. The statement also reads, well, Nigerians are indeed expecting something substantial coming from the National Assembly at this time. Well, many issues. One key issue at the front burner is that of the IPOB being prescribed at this time. What is the National Assembly stand on this one? This would definitely generate more reactions on this. Well, away from this unknown gunmen on Monday opened fire on the palace of the Olubadan of Ibadan land, Oba Saliu Adetunji, during installation of the Mogajis and the Bales in that particular axis of the state. Now, former governor of Oyo State, Rashidi Ladoja, and an air secretary to the state government, Shafaradin Abiodun Ali, and others escaped unhurt when the suspected gunmen, numbering about 7, attacked the palace. Well, take a listen to this one, and definitely we'll be right back.
Just follow a simple decorum. So I don't understand why people should take the laws into their hands by sending hoodlums to this place.
Okay, sir, with this kind of sign now, what are you people going to do to ensure the safety of the palace, sir?
Well, the palace is safe because look at the number of people outside. Are they going to kill them? They are not going to kill them. I mean, were they able to? Did they wait when they came? They just shot into the air, and they shot about just to scare people. They know that the Olubadan is loved by the people of Ibadan land, and if they are revolting against the Olubadan, that is their own ethic. They can go to court. We know definitely.
Well, you might see it as very, very serious issue, but it's becoming what you need to do. You need to pay homage. And
true, this succession is in accordance to the seniority as prescribed by the Constitution, but it comes with the opportunity of having a seasoned jurist and judicial administrator, as my lady Honorable Justice Okoyemi Oke, to lead this very vibrant arm of government, which plays an immeasurable role in the socio-economic engineering of Lagos State.
I, Okoyemi Oke, do solemnly swear that I will be faithful, and bear true allegiance to the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Given its reputation for intellectual judicial pronouncements that have stood the test of time at our appellate courts, I'm therefore confident that as you take up the leadership of the judiciary today, though in an acting capacity, the Lordship will discharge the duties of this office with exemplary wisdom, candor, and integrity.
Akinwumi Ambode, well, charging the acting chief judge of the state to discharge duty without fear or favor. Well, the issue of restructuring this time, recall the APC committee going from one state to another, from one region to another, to ensure they get the standpoint of what exactly they really mean by the word called restructuring. At this time, the public sitting organized by the All Progressive Congress APC on federalism for the North Central was held in Ilorin, with most of the people conversing for devolution of power, rejecting the creation of more states and autonomy for local government, among others. These views were canvassed for by the state policing and also more other national issues, talking about the presidential system to be retained. Well, we did cover this report, and this are the sight and sound.
This nationwide dialogue by our party on true federalism connects with our expressed commitment to making governance more meaningful to our people by changing the way we are governed, especially in terms of access to and allocation of resources. While our current economic problems may have weakened our party's commitment to reforming our federation, the challenges have also strengthened agitation by citizens for what is variously referred to as restructuring, devolution, or true federalism.
These, however, will be the first time
that a conscious effort is being made by a political party in Nigeria to aggregate views, opinions, and ideas about how we want to see the Nigeria by ourselves, the people of Nigeria.
Make recommendation as regard to the devolution of power to all the geopolitical zone of the state. We also talk about devolution of power and form of government and legislative. We also talk about physical federalism and revenue allocation.
I want to align with Kwara State. The chairman of Kwara State who said that the revenue according to the state is very, very small. They cannot carry the weight. They cannot achieve much. Because if you put together the number of civil servants that the states are carrying, is more than 100 or 200% that of the federal government.
There's a need to look at the revenue generation at the state level. I see no reason why at the state revenues will be generated only to be submitted to the federal. It does not augur well for developmental projects in the state. There's the need to refine and fine-tune the policy so as to adopt something that will be more suitable for the populace, and we are the populace.
I read in the papers, the Lagos state government, I don't know which of the states in the southwest, was supposed to give 100 million naira to the police force for I don't know which of security, combine the operation of the Nigerian police force and that to check security challenges in the country. It's 100 million naira, the state government will not get that. It's so.
Stakeholders are there on the call for restructuring. Now, many of them did clamor for devolution of power. What exactly is the definition of restructuring and demolition or devolution of power? At this time, I beg your pardon, I want to say devolution of our power, because it's all about semantics. At this time, many are indeed calling for restructuring, and some are saying it is a devolution of power. So what do we really mean when talking about restructuring Nigeria? Last point of call this morning, members of the National Council for Nutrition have called on the federal government to officially inaugurate Council for Effective Performance. According to them, the council, which was constituted in 2007, is yet to be inaugurated. Speaking after a closed-door meeting with the Vice President Yemi Osinbajo, the council, led by the Deputy Governor of Kano State, Afiz Abubakar, said inaugurating the council with signposts of federal government commitment to eradicating malnutrition in the country.
To harness resources with a focus. We need to tell the world, as a country, we now understand what is the importance of eradicating malnutrition if we really want to have good human beings as Nigerians.
Our honest desire that this council be launched, because it's going to be a focal point, it's going to be a body that will coordinate all activities of nutritionists and all the allied professionals to see that we set targets towards addressing this burden of malnutrition, stunting, underweight, wasting, micronutrient deficiencies, and even the one that is trying to raise its ugly head, which is obesity.
Stakeholders are there on malnutrition, and that's it on news making headlines. We'll take a short break now, and when we come back, I'll be joined by my guests and we'll be reviewing the dailies. Do not go anywhere. We'll be right back. Good morning once again.
You can now watch CORETV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
Hello and welcome to CORETV Primetime News Broadcast.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CORETV, leave a space, then news. CORETV News, a 24-hour news station. CORETV News now live on all Androids.
Hello and welcome. This is CORETV.
Download CORETV News app from your Play Store. Click on the menu to see all our top stories from politics, sports, business, foreign news and live TV to watch us live on your mobile.
I want to know why I should be believing them.
You can also click on video to see all our YouTube videos. CORETV News, a 24-hour news station.
Mr. President,
Mr. Speaker,
109 senators, 360 members of the House of Representatives, talking the talk, walking the walk as they debate on issues that concern Nigerians.
Mr. President, a time will come when the poor will have nothing to eat but the rich.
To avoid double taxation so that there is flow of business into Nigeria, Nigerians will benefit a lot.
We bring you the argument.
You don't need any accountant to tell you that some people are making fortunes on account of other people's misfortune.
Whether there was some abuse of dipping hands into any public funds of the Federation.
Accusations.
This is a good example of where corruption is not only eating into it, it's also creating a bad name for ourselves.
I've never heard the word pardon being an offense under any law.
It is not pardon. It is not incision. It's budget fraud.
Controversies.
There is a certain IG who promoted his girlfriend from sergeant to inspector to ASP.
We must have jobs and projects going in every local government, every federal constituency, every senatorial district of this country.
The recession has thrown Nigerians into economies nowadays.
Join me, Jamila Fegwa, on Gavel to Gavel every Saturday at 8 p.m. with a repeat broadcast on Mondays at 12:30 p.m.
Governing a country full of complexities like Nigeria requires the support of everybody. The role players of governance take the decisions that affect their daily life.
Rest assured that this administration will continue to do all it can to rescue the remaining Chibok guys who are still in Boko Haram's captivity.
Let's remove emotion from facts. One, do judges have immunity? The answer is no. Can judges be arrested? The answer is yes.
We resolve to work together, the federal government and the states, to meet the challenges of our economy.
It didn't happen by accident. It happened by the hard work that this government has done since it came into office.
Tony Abiololuwole on CORETV News every Saturday at 12:30 p.m. as I take you around to the activities at the presidential villa.
On the day list this morning, Nigerians encourage corruption besides June first up the and Nigerian governor forum calls for Okonjo Iweala's resignation. Page 2 of the Punch newspaper. The dailies every day on CORETV News.
Welcome back on the program. Well, we are on the dailies. At this time, we will be looking at the front page of the Vanguard newspaper, The Punch, The Nation. And our last point of call this morning, well, is The Nation newspaper. And these are the three papers that we'll be reviewing today. Being Tuesday, it's a winning Tuesday. Well, here in Lagos, it's a raining Tuesday, and I have my guest in the studio, Charles Ideo. He's a journalist and also a public affairs analyst. Well, I'm also many thanks for coming on the program this morning.
Thank you. Thanks to viewers.
Getting to the station this morning is quite cumbersome because of the heavy rain in Lagos at this time. So what do you say about this rain?
Well, this is just a season. It's a season. There's something. It's just like when it gets to your season, nobody's going to stop you.
Oh my God!
So somebody say, I think, but when it's too much, it's when we cry because of the issue of flooding here and there. If it's moderate, it falls, and then the sun comes out. All of us are going to be happy because we're going to have a very good yield when it comes to the time of harvesting.
Okay.
Exactly. But when it causes flooding that is now becomes.
But you know, when it rains, especially in some parts of the country, you know, you can rule out the issue of flooding.
Yeah, where if some of the places that are close to the riverine areas, then if you talk about the cities, those people who build along the canals, and then maybe the waterways, and then they didn't do what is right. And then the feeling of this lagoon, I mean, you are chasing water away. Water is supposed to have a space. So when the water becomes angry, overflowing comes.
Okay, away from that, let's look at the front page of the dailies this morning. Well, we'll start with the front page of the Vanguard newspaper. And the big story here says a weak, incompetent party now President Imam as APC fires back at Sagi. What exactly is happening at this time? We've been having the back and forth argument concerning this on saying, says Sagi is the real rogue elephant in government. It is sign of total confusion in APC, and PDP is reacting at this time, and that's what we looked at yesterday on the program when my colleague on the program, Bosse, were really looking at party politics and the internal wranglings this time. What do you make of this, Charles?
Well, rogue elephant.
Rogue elephant. We'll be having these analogies this time using animals. You remember the jackals and the cows and
the lesser animals, the Lion King and rest of them.
Since we are in animal farm at this time, what exactly is happening here, Charles?
Well, for those who are watching, when you say somebody is a rogue elephant, the person is running riot and is destructive. He's destroying everything his way. That's exactly what it. So what they mean to call it's a Sagi rogue elephant means that the man is just destroying everything his way, which of course is not a palatable way to describe him. I am a huge fan. I have always been a huge fan of Professor Sagi, but of this I would disagree with him that he ought to have been more tactful in the way he attacked the party. I agree that the party right now has a problem. There is no cohesion. Of course, you understand that you had many sessions. I mean, many interests joined together. You had the ANPP interest, you had the CPC interest, the ACN interest, and then the new PDP interest, and then the half of our ABGA. So it's an amalgam of about 5 parties all coming together. So you still have these centrifugal forces pulling them from the center. So most of them trying to assert their superiority, the superiority they had in their parties. You understand? So that's exactly what is playing out now. When this party collapse, when they collectively collapse their own mandate, their platform together to form APC, they did not. Most of them did not. They were still tied to the apron springs of their various platforms. You understand? So you still find rather than subject their authority to the authority of APC, you still find them gravitating towards all this other. So that's what about Professor Isagi is not a party man. It's not a politician. He was appointed by the president to work for him to support the issue of anti-corruption issue, which is what he's talking. And he has looked at the party from the sideline. He sees that they are very disciplined, but you can't take him away from the party line because he's working for the government that is APC-led government. So if you are working for APC-led government, which means you are also part of APC.
So is this a case of a house divided against itself?
It is. But what I expected Eastern Secretary to have done is you have witnessed all these shenanigans. You have witnessed all these divisive elements and rest of them, just as you and I also witnessed. But he has access to the leadership of the party, that he could easily have sought audience with them to talk to them rather than come to the public. That's my quarrel.
Is this the turn of the APC now? You know, because Eastern Sagi has always been firing stones and bricks wall and many other.
So be firing on the national institutions exactly,
on the national.
Now it's firing party
on the National Assembly.
Yes.
Now it is the party.
Yes.
So where is it going in all of this?
Well, I think what he's doing, as I said, is apt. Okay, what he said, the message is apt, but it is the delivery that I have problem with. I study communication. Okay. So the issue when you can tell, for instance, now if the president says something, president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, if he says something that is not right or it's not true, I can't say the president lying. In communication, it is disrespectful. I can say I disagree with the president. Even though the president, I say president lied, but I didn't say openly the president, but we know that what the president said it's not right. I can't say it's lying. I can say I disagree with the president on the issue of principles. So if Professor Sage would have been, if he had been more tactful, there's a way we would have channeled it, or we would have delivered the message without casting aspersions.
But let me just take you back on this. Why can't you say he is lying? Is it because of
no, you can't. No, there's what they call decorum.
All right.
So public decorum will not allow him to say somebody is lying. No, right. But there are semantics. There are synonyms you can use to send the message that somebody is lying, but not saying he's lying directly.
Okay, just to make it land softly. Well, away from that, let's move on now to more other interesting stories on the dailies this morning. On the mast here, we have gunmen storm Olubadan's palace during installation of ballets. Well, this is a story quite sad.
Ibadan has always been a very peaceful city, very peaceful place to live in. Over the years, for centuries, they've had this self-succession plan. The process has been very, very smooth for the Olubadan to emerge, all right? But in the wisdom of the government, of the governor, he's saying that the process is too long. The succession process, the lineage is too long. Before somebody becomes an Olubadan, the person would have become too old, something or something. He wanted to reduce and not collapse some of these things, but he did it without a recourse to the institution itself. Do you understand? How can you raise 21 Obas without kingdoms? It's not. How can?
Well, is he trying to do something in
No, it's politics. No, it's politics.
It's this politics.
Well, personal to me, I have watched the thing closely. I've studied the whole thing. He is against the emergence of the current Osi Olubadan of Ibadan land, which the SY governor, Governor Rashidi Ladoja, is the current Osi Olubadan of Ibadan.
We did cover that in the report, and
thank you.
You listen to what he said.
Exactly. Okay. So he is, for me, going by what I may be wrong, but I mean this is personal to me, that all these things that he's putting in place, all these booby traps, they are against the mass emergence at the Olubadan of Ibadan.
But is this not worrisome, seeing gunmen invading?
Yes, because
because when you go to the palace, what you do there is pay homage,
reverence, and homage.
Yeah. So, but now,
and did you see the cars? Most of them bullet ready. Now, Ibadan, the man has murder sleep. Ibadan may not know peace for a time to come, because the people you have raised to become obas without kingdoms, they won't go down without a fight. And as long as the governor remains there and the governor is in support of that, they will remain. They are going to be. It's like you have empowered them right now. And then the Olubadan stool has been rubbished. The reverence accorded to it has been removed from it, which is not good for that place.
Okay, we pray that peace and tranquility will reign in Ibadan at this time. How Nigeria can quickly address infrastructural deficits at this time. World Bank speaking. FRRS, I can't disagree over 10-year pioneer status to new firms. And also hate speech, minding your language in Nigeria, in today's Nigeria. All this on the front page of the Vanguard newspaper this morning. And well, let's leave the Mr. and Mrs. because of our time. Well, away from that, moving on now to the front page of the Punch newspaper. Well, we have the picture story of gunmen attack Olubadan's palace during a new mortgages installation. Well, and you can see what exactly is happening at this time. Illegal firearms importers opt for plea bargain. Charles.
But if that is allowed to stay true,
importers opt for plea bargain.
If that is allowed to be, then it will rub base the war against corruption in this country. I mean, you imported arms illegally, and then it was intercepted at the entry point. The people who imported them have been identified. They should go in for it, because if this arm had not been apprehended, and then they get into the hands of criminals, Nigeria could go. I mean, the conflagration that would be visited upon us. Nobody will know where to take us. And then thankfully you are able to identify who they are. They should let the law take this course. All these people again will not help, because you know why? They are powerful. It's just what's in Nigeria. We just know the son who knows the judge.
and you are let off the hook.
And that's why we should not keep quiet on this matter, because in just 8 months we saw
about 3 or 4
about four times arms were intercepted at the Tinkan port.
Possibly these are the ones that they were able to go out because of court. What about the ones
that porous borders?
Exactly. What about the ones? I mean, I went to spend a little while in Togo 2 weeks ago. Look at our borders. If you look at the borders, you can move anywhere, apart from the official borders that you pass through. Then you do the checking. There are other borders that are not manned. So all these illegal arms could have even filtered to the country through all those means. So if you have apprehended people who have imported arms illegally to the country, then you send them to the course. Let the law take its full course upon them.
Okay, well, the law should take its full course upon this set of people who are illegal firearms importers. Thus, Tambia probes resist comments about Nigerian passengers. Page 4 of the Punch newspaper. 90 days deadline for my recall has expired.
No, it hasn't. No, it hasn't, because even when the court gave that judgment that INEC can continue or can resume, they started counting again. That's what the court said.
If you listen to Michael Zakomet,
no. I'm not talking about Michael Zakomet. I'm talking about the judgment of the court. The judgment of the court supersedes whatever Zakomet has to say. Okay. The court says amongst its rulings that the process can start afresh. What does it? Afresh means afresh. Afresh
interpretation.
No, it's not interpretation. The law is very clear. No, okay. Sorry, the law is very clear about it. He was the one who went to court, right? The court interpreted it to say no. The INEC has the power, the constitutional right, the constitutional power to carry out the process. Now resume afresh, begin afresh. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Well, upon which angle is Melaye speaking at this time?
He's speaking on the angle of people like Zakomet who wants to make money.
Because he's his lawyer.
He's a lawyer, but he whatever he says cannot be above the court ruling. They can only go for an appellate. They can appeal. They can go to appellate court. But as far as we are concerned, INEC has been empowered to go through that process. We must test that law. I must say, if at the end of the day he says true, no problem. But let's test that law of recall.
But Charles, you will surely agree with me that this process is cumbersome.
Cumbersome. That's why we should test it. That's why we should test it. Let's test it. So if we don't test it, we won't. Look, you and I have. You know, when we vote, we surrender our personal mandate. We surrender our rights as a mandate to a person to hold that mandate in trust for us. So if he's not doing what we sent him to do, we should have the power to recall him to say, no, this is not the message we sent you. If you send someone, you are highly placed here. As I said, if you have a junior staff here, you have sent an errand, or maybe a reporter. Okay. A reporter comes back with a wrong report. You have the right to say, no, you are not going for another one anymore. You send somebody who can do the job better. But in Nigeria, once we surrender a mandate, we are left helpless. That's why we should test that law.
There's a clause in one of this recall process which says that after all said and done, it goes back to the Senate, to the National Assembly
and the Senate. The question is, if we go there, no problem. But let's test the law.
Okay, let's test. Oh, Charles is saying we should test the process of all this. Oil price hit 26-month high and $59.
I am not happy
per barrel.
I'm not happy that the oil price is rising again. Because
why?
Well, because we become lazy again. We become a mono product economy. Now look at the issue of people going to the narrative about agriculture now being very, very important to our national group. Will be if by the time the barrel of oil becomes $100, nobody will be talking about agriculture anymore.
But talking about the issue of taxation, the boss of the FRRS, about Tunde Fowler, did say that last year when we're even having per barrel, which is less than $50, well, the Federal Inland Revenue Service made 3.303 trillion naira.
Yeah, the thing is that what is most responsible that this BVN has hurt a lot.
Okay.
Because you know why? Workers have been captured in their salary scheme. So nobody right now, if you want to work for the federal government, you can't even pay
pays is as composed. They will before you withdraw from SOX.
Okay.
So most people who were using man to dodge taxes before, and I'm talking about federal government ministries now. They are and agencies and they can no longer dodge that.
Okay.
So that's part of what.
We'll get to talk more about tax administration in the country. Well, after all the review of the papers this morning, Hitler killed organ manager on government farmland. Pages 4 and 5 of the Punch newspaper. 15 billion naira fraud. The EFCC tackles Tambor over pardon for commissioners. Others. Page 14 of the Punch newspaper. FG Gazette. IPOB ban to right banks, embassies, foreign missions. Buhari to appoint administrator for forfeiture of IPOB asset aid. Professor Obiano disagree on Biafran agitators or at legal here ceremony. Well, we have a lot of professors disagreeing.
That's one thing about the law.
Prescription.
The law. You can have 5 lawyers here now. All of them will be towing 5 lines.
And the same constitution.
The same constitution.
Different meanings and interpretations this time. On the masthead we have APC Sage at wall over rogue elephant comments. Well, Buhari dog that's the park chairman for inevitable oblivion, says a party. Jigio Yegun Abdullahi are dining with the devil. San. Okay,